Voice Spirit is such an elusive hero, so annoying to deal with, so annoying to kill. Especially with like these super tanky items. He's got like almost 2000 health, he's got Essence Ring, he's got Magic Wand. But hey, you know what's the counter to that? Doom, baby. You just click Doom on that guy when he's in the middle of the fight, he can't get out, and then he's dead. And all of a sudden, all the control, all the damage that Voice Spirit provides is just gone. If you like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the notification button below so you will be notified when a new video will be released. Today we got a very interesting game. I decided to watch this Iceiceice Doom replay. I feel like this hero has become really powerful in the current patch with the items and the game changes, and I think one of the reasons because fighting and brawling is really big right now. And Doom is really good at being able to do that, especially being able to take heroes out of clashes because of his big key spell Doom. And with all these like Ember Spirits, Thorn Spirits, Void Spirits running around, these spirit heroes who are really good at getting inside and out of clashes, Doom obviously has very high value in those situations because those guys are all dependent on their spells to be able to get out. So being able to Doom them, shut them down in a fight is like really good. And I think just for that reason, there's been a huge increase in popularity in Doom its overall. So Iceiceice, he's been playing a lot of Doombringer. I think it's a perfect replay to watch and learn how to play this hero, who can be possibly a very big meta countering hero. So start of the game, he went for Ring of Protection, Quelling Blade. This is great armor early game, especially against high physical damage enemy safe lane like TB, for example. Quelling Blade obviously for the damage, double regen, and Mango. A lot of people nowadays start at least with 2 regen. Doesn't matter what lane it is, because the couriers are so slow, right? So if your courier gets sniped off somehow when you're bringing regen to yourself, you can get really screwed in your lane. And you can see here at the start, he skills Devour, and he went straight to that range creep and got it devoured right away, while asking for his Nyx Assassin to go and pull the next creep wave. And this is because Doom is a very weak laner, actually. He can't really apply a whole lot of pressure to the enemy. This skill gives him health regen and some bonus gold, but it doesn't really give you any abilities to be able to man fight against someone else, right? Level 1, 3 health regen, sure, it's good enough, but it's not that amazing. And here the Terrorblade uses meta. He takes a lot of damage, so he just flasks back up. The Nyx Assassin try to pull the creeps, not doing too hot here. The biggest focus with Doom is like you just want to try and get as much levels as you can. And you can see here, Iceiceice, he just focus on trying to follow the creep wave wherever it is. And pulling creeps against Terrorblade is amazing, especially when he uses meta, because he wastes his entire meta, right? Just farming creeps. He can't really harass you. He can't contest you for denies because you pull the creep wave. And here the Doom, Iceiceice is just gonna farm up this camp and the creep wave. He takes the Purge creep here. As soon as you can get some kind of spell or ability with your Devour, you would want it, right? So Purge is not that good because it costs way too much mana, and we won't really be seeing him use it. He just wanted to put his Devour on cooldown and have some HP regen. And you can see the enemy is like always gonna try and focus down Doom. Like if you play Doom, you're gonna get focused a lot in the lane because the early levels, that's when you're really weak, and you can't really do anything to counteract that. So in the early levels, like if you can, as much as possible, get your support to pull or drag creep waves all the way around to in front of your tower. One thing that Doom is good at is staying alive in lanes, because he's got this spell that gives him movement speed, and he's got Devour that gives him a lot of health. So here, because he brought his courier and they went on him at the same time, he has to walk all the way back to base. So this is not a very good start for a Doom, to be honest. He did manage to get a lot of creeps in the first couple waves, but now that he got pushed off by the tree, he just goes back to base. He doesn't stay in the lane, doesn't die or anything. He just wants to go back, get 4 resources, come back. And now he got a creep that is actually useful. He got the mana burn creep. So this burns 100 mana for 50 mana cost, right? So he's just gonna use that to trade his mana for the Trent's. And you can see Trent here, he's down to 60 mana. He's not very happy about this mana burn creep that the Doom got, right? So based off the small creeps that you can get off the big camp, like the lane could be really good for you. And now that he's got the mana burn creep, he's just gonna keep spamming the tree and the Terrorblade with it off cooldown, and just try to aim to get as much XP as he possibly can. You You see here he has some momentum with his creep wave. He's just trying to get, trying to pull the creep off the wave by pulling aggro on the Terrorblade. Get it to maybe even deny some range creep if possible. If not, that's okay. He just wants to get the lane pushing into him. Here the Nyx gives him a flask and he's got some clarities. And with his first gold, he bought boots for himself, so he's able to get in and out of the fights quickly inside the lane. You can see here his skill build, he goes for a 2-2-0 build. You don't skill the Infernal Blade anymore, mainly because you need both of these skills so that you can farm more, right? Like the faster Doom farms, the more XP he gets, the quicker he can also level up an Infernal Blade. And Infernal Blade is obviously better as the game progresses. When they have more HP and such. So here he pushes the lane out, then he pulls the creep wave, and that means the next creep wave is going to come to his tower and he can farm that safely. So the more he does his pulls, the more he can farm under his tower safely. Even if the carry gets some XP and gold here, maybe your support is leeching the XP, that's fine. Because you as a Doom is more important that you get to level 6, you get to this timing where you can actually bully this carry out of the lane. And that's Doom's timing, right? When he's level 6 or maybe even level 5, when he has level 3 Scorched, right? You can use this skill to put a lot of pressure on the enemy carry. So right now you can see the enemy is like kind of pretty much free farm as a Terrorblade in his lane. But he is pretty annoyed though because of this mana burn creep. This mana burn creep absolutely amazing at this stage. So you do max out Scorched, it gives you much lower cooldown. Every level is like 5 seconds lower and it does a lot of damage. And this is how you manage to push the creep waves quickly, kill camps quickly, and also make the enemy not be able to, stand in the lane. Like this Terrorblade, right? When the Scorched was on, the Terrorblade just backed off the entire creep wave. He did not want to stay in there. Now there's a catapult pushing in. Iceiceice starts pushing out the lane slowly so that the next creep wave will be able to go here before the tower will get the kill on the catapult. And now he got level 6 and Terrorblade still not yet 6 and very low mana. Even if he was 6, he wouldn't be able to cast Sunder because of this mana burn creep that he had. And he's just going to instantly cast Scorched Earth, doom this TB. And this TB has not been able to farm bottom for like the past minute, ever since Iceiceice got level 5, right? Because his skill is so strong against matchup like, for example, Terrorblade. Maybe not so strong against like Ursa's and stuff who can punish you, but in these situations, he just killed the TB on his own as soon as he got level 6. Early levels, obviously, very weak, but later levels, much stronger. And that's just the power of Doom. So now he's almost level 7, and the item that he goes for is the Phase Boots. Phase Boots absolutely amazing for Doom, gives him more movement speed. So he got movement speed from Scorched, he got movement speed from Phase Boots, and then his next item is queuing up his drums, right? We know that drums got buffed a lot in the last patch. It's much cheaper, gives mana regen, and it's active. It's still very good for your team when you use it early game when you're trying to pressure tower, right? So here he goes back. Actually, instead of going for the drums, he goes for the soaring first. And I was thinking about this, if it's actually good. It does give you strength and armor. Doom has very, very low armor. So the armor is like kind of nice for a Doombringer. The only thing is like you would think, oh, it doesn't give you HP regen. That's one of the reasons why people don't buy a lot of soaring anymore in the new patch. But because of the Devour and Devour giving you natural health regen, it's kind of nice to go the soaring route. So with the soaring, you can just keep using the Scorched Earth and just push out waves non-stop and farm camps. So here he farmed the big camp, he farmed the small camp while his clarity was running, and made it to the mid lane, pushed out a bit, checked the top rune, found a haste, and instantly going into another fight. So they kind of rotated his way all the way from bottom to top, just following the creep waves that are pushing into his tower that nobody is defending on his ally, on his team. And just with the Scorched Earth, just using his body to just, push heroes away from the fight. He traded with the mid Void Spirit, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. The whole idea with whatever he's doing is that he's utilizing his early game strength with Scorched Earth to try and take those easy fights for his ally. So here he had a lot of vision, so I'm just going to go to dire vision. And here he had a lot of vision in this area, and he knew that it was a good situation to push the enemy off and make some space also for his Slark to get free farm while, killing off the enemy mid laner. So he's alive, immediately TPs out to a wave that's pushing, goes and uses Scorched Earth to get that wave out. And some things you can do in games too, if let's say you're not playing against a strong carry and you've actually punished them, you can keep on dragging the camps here into the small camp and you can kill two things at the same time, right? You can kill the pull camp here, and you can pull the wave that's coming in, and that's going to give you a lot of XP and gold. Iceiceice doesn't do that this game because he used the Doom to kill the TV, and there was like 2 heroes bottom, and he went middle first, and he saw an opportunity top. But in most games when you play Doombringer, especially the Dooms I've seen, they spent a lot of time bottom lane dragging the creep waves to creep camps and killing 2 things at the same time with Scorched. Because this spell does so much damage when it's maxed out. 60 damage a second. It's absolutely insane how much you can do with this. And here, just using the Scorched again to just keep pushing out these waves and allowing the creep waves to do damage to the tower. You want to control the top rune here. And now he's got the drums complete. So when you have drums complete on Doom, you're very, very fast, right? You got phase boots, you got drums, you got the windlace. You can even get another windlace if you want. Here he sees a TB top lane, he just goes in and dooms him straight up. And this is legit the most annoying thing about Doombringer. It's like you can just doom a carry and they can't do anything, right? You play against someone who is like dominating, who's godlike or beyond godlike, you just doom them in the fight and they just have to exit the fight for 15 seconds or 16 seconds. Yeah, 16 seconds, that's how long it lasts. And it's just the power of Doom. And here, the Terrorblade, he gets doomed up and he can't do anything. With +1, they were able to kill the TB off as well. And that just ended TB's farming career right there in this game. That's actually Dream Assault, by the way. He's a very high MMR player, plays for Boom ID. But he did die here though, that's okay. He got a kill on the TB and that's great. As a position 3, you trading your life for an enemy carry. Anyway, now he goes back bottom, starts applying pressure. He knows that the bottom tower is not yet dead. So he's gonna go do some offlane things now, where he's like dragging the creep waves to the small camps and trying to make sure that this tower falls so he can open up the map for his allies. And with the drums now, he can just use the drums in any clashes where there's like 3 or 4 heroes and you need to chase down the enemy. Is absolutely great. And he did manage to put 1 point Infernal Blade on level 8, so he gets that mini stun. I think it's very good value point on level 8, because obviously you want to max out your Scorched first. Then after that, he goes back to maxing out Devour, so this way you can get like the big creeps with Devour, you also get more HP regen, and you get more gold from Devour. It's like pretty much a Midas, right, every time you use it. And right now, if you look on the minimap, like he doesn't really need to do anything. His team is already controlling mid. He's controlling bottom. Essentially farming 60% of the map just from this position on the map. So while that's happening, he just makes sure that the bottom wave, the creeps are pushed into the tower first before he rotates to the fight. So this way, if somebody does fight middle, then they will need to think about defending the bottom tower at the same time. So once he manages to push the bottom lane out, he's able to join his team in the mid lane just like that, using Infernal Blade on the strength. Easy kill. But he took way too much physical damage here. Actually, he kind of read the situation very wrong, because his team was already getting out, right? Like he doesn't need to follow this Champ Protector and try to go on him. He could have just, you know, used Infernal Blade or even drums Infernal Blade and just run out of the fight, and he would have been better. But he kind of read the situation as his team wants to fight, where that wasn't really the thing, because the TB popped his meta and you kind of want to avoid him at that stage in the game. But next item he's going to go for his Blink Dagger. I think it's really good. He actually pops a buyback here because the TB was out of position hitting this tower because the Doom was dead, and now that the Doom bought out, this TB is like feeling a bit scared. He pops the drums. This gives a lot of movement speed to his allies. That allows him to catch up to this Terrorblade over here. And unfortunately, the Slark jumped in way too soon without his ultimate being active, and the Terrorblade got the Sunder on him. I'm just gonna go back a little bit here to see what he was doing. I was actually thinking he was gonna chase the TB, but he's a bit far here, and then Nyx is like, yo, I can probably get this guy. He actually stuns up the Void Spirit, they doom him, and this is a position 2 Void Spirit, can't do anything, can't get out. And he's dead, and that's a lot of gold, by the way. So in this patch, fighting and getting gold through kills and assists is great. So Doom is super easy at being able to go in and out of fights because of how much movement speed that he has with this build. He's got phase drums, he's got Scorched Dirt that gives him 50%. He even took a speed aura creep this game, 12% movement speed. Every time he pops drums, he's got 460 MS, and just using that to go between the lanes and non-stop pushing lanes out with the Scorched Dirt is just getting him so much farm. Look at his last hits right now. He's got 92. He's got higher. He's got the highest on his team, right? He's got as much as the Slark has, although he's been running around a lot and he's also had a lot of deaths in this game, right? He's got 3 deaths in 15 minutes, but it doesn't feel that way because he's managed to kill so many creep waves with just clicking Scorched Earth and running at heroes. And now he's finished his Blink Dagger. And when you have your Doom on cooldown, you don't have to think too much about going into a fight and like trying to kill any carries. You can use that time to use your Scorched Earth to push out lanes or farm some camps if there's nothing to do. So here his allies are pushing mid and bottom, and he realizes he doesn't have Doom. So he doesn't really want to be in this fight 60 minutes in because he can just get bursted, right? And you want to keep on farming. Doom is like a super high scaling hero. So what he does is he drags the double creep waves, he brings it to a camp over here, and he just kills off all the creeps. And then he eats the War Stomp because that's what you want to get when you get Blink, right? The reason why you go Blink is because you want to get War Stomp and you get that nice juicy 2-second disable after you Blink. So here he was trying to use the Doom, but the Void Spirit Quick Fingers gets out really quickly. So now that Doom is up again, he's using his body in a very aggressive way so that if anybody does come out to farm the lanes now, he will just Doom them and his team will just run at them. And as soon as he blinks in and dooms someone, he's going to pop that drum charge to get that 30% movement speed for all his allies to chase down that hero that he doomed. And you can see here, because of the Scorched Earth spam that he's been doing, 17 minutes in, he's already level 13.5. Now he's able to level up that Infernal Blade and he's becoming that big beast in the game, right? He's got 7,800 net worth already just as the offlaner. And he didn't even have that amazing of a laning stage in the beginning. He had to even go back to base early game to heal up one time. So here just pushing bottom out. They just want to make sure that they can keep on getting these 2 lanes out, mid and bottom. Now, because bottom somebody reacted with the Nature's Prophet, he's trying to see if he can make other plays happen around the mid or top area of the map. Because you want to keep on moving around once you have Doom. Like if you stay bottom with Doom and nobody's coming to you, then it's pointless, right? You want to force the creep wave into a tower, then you want to like move towards the mid area of the map so you can find somebody to use this Doom on. Because every time this skill is up, using it on a TB or a Void Spirit, position 2 is also fine. It's going to be very good for you. Because you're going to get a free kill, essentially, every time the skill is up. Because they just can't get away from it, right? So here he TP's bottom. He was thinking like maybe he can catch his Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet playing very smart. He knows what Iceiceice wants to do. Gets away. Now he walks into the jungle. He sees a ward here. He blinks in. War Stomps first. Infernal Blades. And then casts the Doom. So he casts all his disables first. But because it's so near the tier 2 tower of the Radiant and also black map area here, Iceiceice decides to just let him go, right? He forced a lot of reactions there, and with that play, hopefully his allies are able to get a kill top. They do get the Tread Protector, and one of the reasons why they were able to do that is because of the over-aggression from Iceiceice that happened here. Now, he had the discipline to walk away after that Doom, right? A lot of people, they click Doom, they think that we gotta commit to this, but because the area was so dark, he decided that it was a very bad idea to keep on chasing. If he chased, surely he's dead, the TB lives, and maybe after that, they're already going over here to kill the Slark, who went for the Tread Protector. But because he backed off, he made a lot of rotations happen in this area because they were thinking that they gotta save the Terrorblade, and that naturally allowed the rest of his allies to kill the tree here and get all this area controlled. So after the Doom is on cooldown, he goes straight back to farming, right? With this hero, you never want to stop pushing lanes out with your Scorched Earth or using it to kill off creep camps, especially while Doom is on cooldown. And the enemy, when the Doom's on cooldown, are going to make some crazy plays like on your towers or do some Roshan. And that's what's happening here. TB goes straight into the Roshan pit because Doom's on cooldown. And Iceiceice comes in with his War Stomp, Infernal Blade, gets Sunder up, so he just backs off from the fight. And now the TB is just going to take the Roshan. I feel in this situation, most of the time, you probably don't want to take the fight unless it's like a clear cut. You got vision of them, you know what to do, you know who to stun, you know who to Infernal Blade and get kills, then you can join the fight. But that situation was like really tough because the TB managed to get his Sunder off, and now 3 heroes died and they lost the Aegis, right? So Iceiceice here, not feeling too good after that one, but at least his mind was in the right place. He feels like, okay, my Doom's on cooldown. I know I can't like do a lot in the clash, but maybe I can try to War Stomp and Infernal Blade and get something going for my team. In a lot of games though, you are going to be able to do that. Like, you are going to be able to just have a lot of impact in the fights just by using your War Stomp and your Infernal Blade. You don't really need your Doom always to be up for you to be able to team fight. But it is nice when you're trying to build up your key items, your mid-game items like Blink and BKB, that you're fighting with Doom. And then when your Doom's on cooldown, you're making sure all the lanes are being pushed out and you get a lot more farm. So you can hit those timings in the fights where you just won't be able to get killed off or they can't stop you from casting. So here the NP, he was setting up top, but his allies were already going on another hero here. And now the Doom is back up. He TPs to the mid tower. And he's waiting for the chance to be able to jump the right target. He's not seeing any opportunities right now. And he's waiting for people to like come out. And as soon as he saw this Void Spirit blink in, he just killed him, right? He couldn't wait to go for the TB because TB has Aegis. And also dooming TB after the meta just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this fight. So he kills the Void Spirit off first. Kills off everybody else. He has War Stomp soon. Infernal Blade. Now he's going to go on the TB. He's going to start stunning him up. And you can see how he's just walking in and out of the fight with his Infernal Blade. Because he just wants to keep on using that whenever it's off cooldown. But he also doesn't want to be focused on when it is on cooldown. And now he's got BKB. So nice Doom on that Void Spirit. And you can see like Void Spirit is such an elusive hero. So annoying to deal with. So annoying to kill. Especially with like these super tanky items. He's got like almost 2000 health. He's got Essence Ring. He's got Magic Wand. But hey, you know what's the counter to that? Doom, baby. You just click Doom on that guy when he's in the middle of the fight. He can't get out. And then he's dead. And all of a sudden, all the control, all the damage that Void Spirit provides is just gone. Now the heroes are dead. He goes back bottom, starts applying pressure more aggressively. Has a BKB now. He's really unkillable at this point in the game. And Void Spirit, hey, no Doom up, then he feels extremely comfortable. He's just starting to pick off heroes one by one. So that one big team fight won here when the enemy went a little too ham and the Void Spirit getting doomed up. It just snowballed way out of control. The TB, obviously not a hero who can get out of a fight very quickly, especially once he's committed. So killing off everybody else and just kind of stunning him up and making sure that he can't kill his allies is super good. And again, this is the bread and butter of Doom, right? You just Devour off cooldown, you click Scorched to push out lanes, and then when Doom is up, you try to go and take a team fight against the enemy, kill the hero who's really difficult to kill, or something valuable, like for example Void Spirit, who's hard to kill but also provides a lot of disables, or you can, you know, Doom a TB. In this fight, he dooms a TB because the TB didn't actually use his Metamorph yet, right? So it makes a lot of sense. And he actually managed to get up because he's got Satanic and SNY. The Doom lasts a very short period of time. Maybe it was a little bit of a mistake for him to Doom him. I think he didn't notice that there was actually a Satanic on the TB at that point. But he did almost die regardless. And now the TB pops his stuff and he just goes in with the Infernal Blade. This does so much damage late game. It's 5% of the max HP. You know, it's just so much damage, right? And it does it every second, while also, you know, mini stunning them. It's very, very good. So, and here he's just kind of stuck inside the enemy base. So let's just look at his talents really quick here. He's got 16 Scorched Earth damage that allows you to do more damage in the fights. It's all Scorched Earth is all AoE damage, right? So it's gonna do a lot, especially if 5 heroes are under this. They're taking 76 damage a second. That's more than a Radiance. So that's really nice. Next, he goes for the Devour Gold. So that gives you 320 gold every 70 seconds as long as you're eating it off cooldown, like eating a creep off cooldown, which is amazing. That's like majority of your GPM. And then plus 30 Doom DPS on 20. Devouring Ancient Creeps is like kind of useless. They don't really give you any good skills or anything like that. So you really just want like a War Stomp or an Alpha Wolf Creep that gives you a hell of a lot of damage. And here he just goes, walks top, sees a TB, dooms him, and kills him off. You know, he's the enemy carry, he's the enemy position 1. Might as well just use your skill and just get him out there. He was kind of worried that maybe people were actually going to rotate top to try and save this TB, so he just dooms him anyway. And you can see his next item is Shiva's. Shiva's absolutely amazing on this hero. Like when you go phase, drums, blink, you got all the mobility in the world. Some games you don't need BKB because maybe they don't have a whole lot of stuns. But in games where they do have a lot of control for you, you need BKB. And then if you don't need BKB, you can just go straight Shiva's. Shiva's is like such a core item on this hero because one, he has very low base armor. And armor items are great. And secondly, Shiva's allows you to slow the people after you blink in and doom someone too. So the hero who's doomed is going to get Shiva'd up, is going to get Infernal bladed, and they're just stuck in the fight, right? So that allows you to just be able to kill off pretty much a position 1 or 2 right there and then in the middle of a team fight. And another way like people can counter Doom, or if you're playing against a Doom, is like you got to get Lincolns against this hero. This hero, if you don't have Lincolns, is so difficult to play against. Because if he just sees you, he's just going to blink in and doom you. If you don't want to go blink though, you can go Shadowblade. That item is also a good item for Doombringer. Shadowblade, especially if you're playing against, like, let's say, Venomancer or other heroes who are really good at cancelling your blink and such. And it's more of like a carry-ish build on Doom, where Blink is a little bit more utility because you're getting it earlier in the game. Shadowblade will give you more stats. And here he just uses, he doesn't have Doom, so he's just going into the backline, using his Infernal Blade and War Stomp to annoy some heroes in the back over here. He pops his BKB, he really wants that Snapfire. He's got a gem too on that Snapfire, so doesn't actually see it. There's also a team fight that's still breaking out here in the back. NP and the Gem Protector. He's gonna use the Doom on the Voice Spirit, so the Voice Spirit is just gonna be locked down in the fight and not be able to get out. And you can see here, like, even though Doom doesn't have any big disables, I mean, War Stomp is something you have to eat. He provides a lot of control in the fights, right? Now, when you also use Doom, you don't necessarily need to make sure you kill that hero who gets Doom. You can just Doom someone who you need out of the team fight so you can kill everybody else, and then later, when that hero is isolated on their own, you can kill them. For 60 seconds, the enemy can't use items, they can't use spells. It's just ridiculous, like, how powerful this skill is when it is off cooldown. And just like that, it was able to take over this game. And he's actually going for a Octarine core next after the Shivas, so he's gonna get a lot of lifesteal from the Scorched Earth and also the cooldown reduction on all his skills. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I mean, the biggest things I learned from this game is that it's okay for you to use a lot of your regen and your HP early game just to secure yourself some levels, especially the first few levels when you're really weak. And then if you get too low, just go back to base, heal up, come back into the lane, and you're just playing for your level 5. Because once you're level 5 and you have level 3 Scorched Earth, you can just kill or pressure the enemy carry very easily. Unless you're like Monkey King or Ursa, which will be a little bit more difficult for you to do, right? Another point is I really like the Phase Boots Drums build that he goes. I don't think Soul Ring is actually necessary. I feel like Drums already provides you a lot of regen. But because he got the Ring of Protection early and, you know, he just felt like, I just buy 2 gauntlets, it's good strength for me, I can just try out the Soul Ring. But overall, I really don't feel like Soul Ring is a necessity on this. So you can just go straight Phase into Drums, into Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade, then BKB, and that gives you such a powerful setup for your Doombringer. This is like utility Doom, right? A more carry-ish Doom from the offlane, you can go Phase, Drums, Shadow Blade into a BKB as well. And then you can go like AC or something. And if you don't need BKB, just skip that and just go for AC or Shivas. Both are extremely good builds for Doom. And that's another reason why I like Doom too. Like, he just has so many flexible builds. Halberd can also be another great item for Doom, and he just has so much threat throughout the game as long as his Doom is up. And then when his Doom is on cooldown, you just non-stop using Scorched Earth to push out lanes or farm creeps.